Okay, yeah, it's working.
Thank you everybody for coming. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about vaccinating your children. Over the years, scientists have developed vaccinations that have helped dramatically reduce the amount of outbreaks of communicable diseases in our country today. You may have been seeing it in the news a lot lately in reference to the measles outbreak in California. One little story you may not have read about was a little boy that lives in Marin, California. He's 6 years old, and he was diagnosed with leukemia when he was 18 months old. He went through 3 years of chemotherapy, and after the 3 years of chemotherapy, his parents got wonderful news. He was in remission. Now he's trying to go to school with his friends and lead a normal life, but his little immune system has not yet rebuilt itself from the chemotherapy, so he cannot be revaccinated. Marin, California, where he lives, in his school district, they are their percentage is 6.45% have a personal belief exemption for vaccinating their children. California allows with this exemption children that are unvaccinated in the schools. Marin, California is the highest in the state of California for allowing these exemptions. He is a personal, they allow all sorts of children who have not been vaccinated, whooping cough, pertussis, you've got measles, polio, mumps, rubella, all of it. So today I want to talk to you a little about why should immunize our children. If you choose not to immunize your children, what extra precautions or definite layers you have to do to protect not only yourself, your children, but the children that they come in contact with. And then thirdly, what would happen in our country today if we stopped vaccinating our children? There are 5 primary reasons why we vaccinate our children. They can save your life. Yes, some of the side effects, the redness of the area, a little fever, what have you, is it's harmful. It's not harmful, but it's annoying, but it's far worse than the long-term prognosis that you could get from having the disease itself. There are many of these threatening diseases have been virtually eradicated from our country. You very rarely see them. Polio is the only one that's been identified in the country as being completely eradicated from the planet. There's been no new cases. They're safe and effective. The side effects are very rare. These vaccines protect the people that you care about. It's not only about you, it's not only about your children, but it's about those that surround you. Vaccines also are a huge cost savings in the long run. You pay out for the shot, but in the same respect, then you turn around and you save on not having to take time off from work, expensive medical bills, long-term care if you develop severe side effects from the diseases. And then they protect not only you, but like I said, the ones that you love. Some people are confused when they hear the articles saying, but you know, the diseases are gone. You rarely see them, and as you'll see on the papers that I put out on the table here, you'll see the reduction from vaccinations, the reduction of how many cases and how many deaths per year there have been since 1950, showing the reduction. But while we have less and less outbreaks, that's because of the vaccinations. And some people get that confused and think that they do not have to vaccinate their children now because they're gone. So for an example, in 1974, Japan went ahead and they had an 80% vaccination rate for pertussis, or whooping cough. They went ahead, they had 373 cases and 0 deaths. So over the next 5 years, the amount of cases increased. They reduced the amount of, they reduced the amount of vaccinations that they gave, and 5 years later, they were up to 13,000 cases of whooping cough with 41 deaths. Vaccinating your child is very important for their safety, but if they're not vaccinated, there's many precautions that they need to take. Everywhere you go, you have to annotate and let them know that your child has not been vaccinated. Every doctor, every hospital, every school, because if something happens, they need to know that might be a problem. They also, you need to make sure the records are completely up to date, and to ensure that, if there is an outbreak, that they are aware that your child doesn't have it. when there's an outbreak in the community and your child's been exposed, there is a time frame window that they can check to see if they can still get the shot. But if you've already had your child immunized, then there's not an issue. You can quarantine your child with that in our daily life. And then you can ensure that everyone around you understands the incubation periods, because you don't know who's contagious and who's not. You could be contagious and she could not be vaccinated, and due to incubation period, you won't know. You wouldn't know until it was too late. What happens to our country? What happens to our country if we stop vaccinating is that those numbers that you see all on those papers will climb. They will climb. The diseases have not completely disappeared. They're just very, very rare to be found, especially in the United States. But as we've seen with the measles outbreak in California, it has not gone in other countries. And with the freedom of travel that there is now today, and the frequency of travel, it can easily be brought into our country. It could be communicated to your neighbor. So a person who has been vaccinated against these diseases cannot contract these diseases, and they cannot spread them. So from my heart to yours, I would tell you to please vaccinate your children. If you have not been vaccinated, get those vaccinations, because if it doesn't come down, because if it happens, that you get that disease of your child, that's that dire chance of fatality worth it. Children are a precious gift and should be protected. Their fear should be nothing more than the monsters that they think are under their bed, or the things that go bump in the night. They shouldn't have to worry about if their friend is going to kill them. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate you taking this time to listen.